최근 비트맥스 창업자 아서 헤이즈가 한 팟캐스트에 출연해 현재 암호화폐 시장 분위기와 비트코인의 미래 성장 가능성에 대해 흥미로운 이야기를 들려줬습니다. 참고로 아서 헤이즈, 이 사람 그냥 유명한 게 아니에요. 전 세계 거시경제 흐름을 날카롭게 꿰뚫는 분석가로 이름난 인물이죠. 그렇다면 지금부터 코인 읽어주는 누나와 함께 아서 헤이즈의 그 화제의 인터뷰 속으로 같이 들어가 볼까요? 영상 시작 전 코인 읽어주는 누나 구독, 좋아요 한 번씩만 부탁드리겠습니다.
You talked about this a lot in the press, but just give us a sense of the timeline of Bitcoin to 1 million by 2028. You said 250 by end of the year. Is that still your timeline, or have you changed
so I
things
think
since?
that we get to 250,000 by the end of the year. It'll be bumpy along the way, obviously, but that's sort of my end of year price target. And then $1 million Bitcoin is what I just got off stage talking about how they're going to print, I think, in the realm of $9 trillion-ish between now and that period of time. And that is, Fannie and Freddie, the government support entities that are allowed to create mortgages in the US. Yeah. They will print $5 trillion. You will have probably up to $1 trillion purchased by the banking system due to supplemental leverage ratio exemptions and purchasing things that the foreigners are selling. And then I think the banks are going to because they now don't have to hold all this equity capital against their treasury book. Yeah, they can lend more into the real American economy. And so you're going to see the amount of loans going to manufacturing firms increase, which is, again, that's an increase in credit, and that will make its way into crypto as well.
When the Fed printed a limited QE back in 2020, all asset classes went up. It wasn't just Bitcoin. So this is good news for Bitcoin, what you just said, the thesis you laid out, but it could be good news for everything else, including stocks, gold, potentially even bonds as well. Why would Bitcoin in particular outperform everything else in a
So Bitcoin has a fixed supply. It's obviously a much smaller market in terms of market cap. And so if you have a lot of things chasing a very small door, then the price goes up on the margin. And so that's why Bitcoin has been the best performing financial asset in the last 15 years.
One particular risk that you've highlighted is the potential for the next administration to write off the Bitcoin strategic reserve completely. If the Democrats win in the next cycle, 2028, and if they cancel the strategic reserve, would we see a lot of selling pressure?
Maybe. It depends on how much Bitcoin is accumulated. It depends on, what the financial pressures are of the government, right? So I think they have 200,000 Bitcoin that they seize from people, the US government that is, and that could be sold. Obviously, if there's a budget pressure, then that's there's money there to sell it. So they can sell it.
Yeah, but do you see them buying more Bitcoin? They haven't done that yet.
I don't think it's politically palatable to buy Bitcoin and print money. I think if you're going to print money, either it's tax cuts or it's build a bridge or build a hospital, these sorts of things that benefit more people than just a small sector of people who own Bitcoin.
Are you disappointed that the Bitcoin Strategic Reserve will not buy more Bitcoin?
Yeah, why does it not buy more? Because I heard arguments about them selling some gold and buy Bitcoin.
I mean, they could. Anything is possible, but I just think it's bad politics. I think if you create all this money and you could spend it on anything you want, surely spending it on buying Bitcoin is probably not going to be the best way to get votes.
아서 헤이즈는 이번 인터뷰에서 놀라운 전망을 내놨습니다. 올해 연말 비트코인 가격이 무려 25만 달러까지 오를 거라고 보고 있고요. 2028년 말에는 놀라지 마세요. 무려 100만 달러에 도달할 거라고 예상하고 있어요. 그가 이렇게까지 강하게 비트코인의 상승을 확신하는 이유는 뭘까요? 바로 미국 연준이 앞으로도 계속 돈을 찍어낼 수밖에 없다는 점 때문입니다. 이렇게 마구 발행되는 달러 때문에 화폐 가치는 계속 떨어질 테고요. 반대로 공급량이 고정된 비트코인은 희소성 덕분에 가치가 폭발적으로 오를 수밖에 없다는 거죠. 그리고 실제로도 지난 15년 동안 비트코인만큼 말도 안 되는 상승률을 보여준 자산도 드물죠? 그렇다면 이번엔 알트코인 시장은 또 어떻게 보고 있는지 함께 들어가 보실까요? 영상 하단 고정 댓글에 있는 링크를 클릭하시면 각종 암호화폐 소식을 빠르게 들을 수 있는 텔레그램 링크가 있으니 여러분들도 꼭 확인하시길 바래요.
Okay, I want to ask you about altcoin season. Everyone's asking, is it coming? And people are saying, hey, this cycle we have so much garbage. And what is happening now?
Well, I mean, I think that all your altcoins, most of them are probably not going to go up in price again because
Uh-oh.
they don't have product market fit. They don't take any of the revenue and bring it back to the token holders. And so they're like high FDV, low float bullshit VC coins. And so they're not going to do very well. And that's why you've seen like down only for like, Berachain, maybe Modon, whatever launches. So these types of projects, these very hyped, big round, big fundraising round projects, it's going to be very hard for them to go up in price because they don't actually have any clients that spend money. But there are projects that are very good that have, product market fit. People spend money. That money goes from the protocol to the token holders. And I think the small subset of products that do that, they're going to do very well.
Pendle,
EtherFi, yeah, stuff like that.
Okay. What about all the VC coins from the last cycle? They were doing very well. What happened in this cycle?
I think, again, no product market fit. And again, if you have a very high valuation that you need to grow into and you have no clients actually doing anything on your chain or your product, it's very hard to generate that interest after you've seen the price go down.
And I think in one of your interviews, you said Bitcoin dominance will hit 70%. And then that is when we might see the altcoin season coming. Is that the
I
argument?
still think that's going to happen.
70%.
We're about 65 now.
So still more outperformance in Bitcoin before alt season.
Basically, Bitcoin dominance is very predicated on ETH. So if ETH doesn't move, then it's very hard for that ratio to really move that.
Will ETH move?
I think so. I think ETH is very hated. People don't like it. And so if I want to bet on something, the change in the cycle, I think ETH could outperform.
How is Maelstrom positioning itself in terms of your allocation priorities right now?
So most of our portfolio is in Bitcoin, a decent slug in ETH, and then we have a lot of term sheet projects. So things that are rolling off because we're advisory and investments, and things that we've bought on liquid, probably EtherFi and Pendle are probably our two large positions.
알트 불장 언제 와요? 라는 진행자의 질문에 아서에이지는 바로 이렇게 말했습니다. 이번 사이클엔 진짜 쓰레기 같은 코인들이 너무 많다 라며 거침없는 비판을 쏟아냈죠. 그가 말하는 쓰레기 알트는 이런 코인들입니다. 보유자에게 수익은 전혀 안 돌려주면서 FDV는 터무니없이 높고 유통량은 말도 안 되게 적은 이른바 VC 전용 알트코인들. 실제로 이번 사이클 어땠나요? 엄청난 주목을 받으며 등장한 수많은 코인들. 하지만 그 끝은 줄줄이 우하향, 폭망이었죠. 그런데 흥미로운 건 아서에이지도 이렇게 혹평을 하면서도 결국 이번 사이클 안에서 알트코인 불장이 오긴 올 거라고 봤다는 겁니다. 다만 그 시점은 비트코인 도미넌스가 약 70%까지 치솟은 뒤, 그리고 그 시작은 바로 이더리움이 반등하면서 알트코인 시장을 다시 이끄는 것. 즉, 이더가 살아야 알트도 산다라는 거죠. 사실 저도 알트코인 여러 개 들고 있다가 쭉 물려서 한동안 눈물로 차트를 봤는데요. 언젠간 우리 모두에게도 알트의 봄날이 오겠죠? 자, 여러분, 오늘도 코인 읽어주는 누나와 함께한 영상 재밌게 보셨나요? 아서에이지의 인터뷰네요. 여러분은 어떻게 생각하시나요? 댓글로 여러분의 의견을 꼭 남겨주세요. 그럼 우리 다음 영상에서 또 만나요. 안녕!